Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Hello and welcome to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. Getting into today's top stories, state representative candidates Mike Heaton and Jeff Shipley participated in a candidate forum hosted by the Mount Pleasant Area Chamber of Commerce on Tuesday night. The candidates conducted themselves respectfully to one another and answered questions from the chamber and audience. Shipley and Heaton took turns answering questions as simple as "Who are you?" and as complicated as their thoughts on Chapter 20. Consistently, Shipley brought his answers around to his core values surrounding freedom, the importance of family, and a traditional Republican approach to politics. Heaton supplied succinct answers which drew from personal connections with the Mount Pleasant community. Being from different sides of the political spectrum, the two gave differing opinions on most topics. When asked about tax cuts, Shipley said, "You can spend your money a whole lot better than I can." Heaton argued that tax cuts only benefit the wealthy and take away from health and education. "We should work with businesses on entrepreneurship," Heaton also said. The differences between candidates were also on display when they spoke on economics. Shipley approached the topic with a fast-paced dialogue about needing predictable business environments, while Heaton took a slower-paced approach. "I have this photo in the workspace downtown," Heaton said. He described the photo of trees in the sky with small specks of birds floating on the tailwinds. Heaton compared the constantly shifting economic times to the inevitability of tailwinds. "We need to ride the tailwinds," Heaton said. Some friction occurred when Shipley entered into discussion about Latinx verbiage when answering a question about health care. "My God," scoffs could be heard from the crowd as Shipley spoke. When Heaton's turn came to cover the topic, he took the opportunity to address this. "I don't like when people use race as an example," he said, and the audience applauded. Shipley did try to clarify this stance, saying, "Talk with your Latin American friends, they'll tell you those terms are infantile," he said. Coming off that conversation, the men delivered closing remarks. Shipley thanked the audience and host and reaffirmed, "I am fighting for freedom." Heaton gave his thank you remarks and left the audience with the familiar feeling with which he began. "I love you guys," he told the community. Both candidates entertained personal questions and discussions with audience members for nearly an hour after the official event concluded. As you'll see with the weather, it is going to be a beautiful weekend, and there's quite a few Halloween happenings around Washington. Tonight at 7 p.m., Hospice of Washington County will host Halloween trivia in Dallmeyer Hall of the Washington County Fairgrounds. Trivia is $10 per person for teams of 4 to 10 players. Prizes will be given to the winning team, losing team, best team costume, and best individual costume. The space is limited. To register, you can call 319-653-7321. That is 319-653-7321. On Saturday, October 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m., Aspire Washington hosts Trunk or Treat. From 4:30 to 7:30 p.m., Hillcrest Academy Future Farmers of America host a harvest party for 5th through 8th graders, which includes supper, games, bonfire, s'mores, and activities. From 12 to 4 p.m., Trick or Treat with the animals at Paws and More Animal Shelter. Bring treats to put in the shelter's animals' goodie bags, enjoy refreshments, and check out the shelter's pets and costumes. From 4 to 6 p.m., Trick or Treat at Lake Darling. The spookiest and cutest campsite will receive prizes. From 6 to 7:30 p.m., Washington County Conservation hosts their annual Halloween hike at Marr Park. Kids enter the trail near Mary Marr Lodge for the hike and then complete with games and goodies. At 7:30 p.m., families are invited to bring chairs, blankets, and snacks to watch Goosebumps outside the Conservation Education Center at Marr Park. That was the top stories. It is now time for obituaries. Carol Ann Mott of Washington passed away on October 19th at the age of 88. A funeral mass and burial will be at 11 a.m. October 22nd at St. Joseph Cemetery. Gold Funeral Home in Brighton is in charge of the arrangements. Scott Allen Egley of Washington passed away on October 17th at the age of 59. Funeral services were held at 2 p.m. October 21st at Wilson and Triplett Funeral Home in Cahokia. James Evans Lloyd of Washington passed away on October 18th at the age of 89. A celebration of life will be held at 2 p.m. October 29th at the United Presbyterian Church. Jones and Eden Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. Janet Francis Sterling of Wayland passed away on October 17th at the age of 83. A celebration of life will be held at 2 p.m. October 25th at the Jones and Eden Funeral Home. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we'll have the weather and sports. Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Hello and welcome back to the Southeast Iowa Union News Break. I'm your host, Nick Steffens. We have some news about the state qualifiers for cross country, but first the weather.
The weather is brought to you by Jacqueline Areola, LLC.
Come visit Jackie in her new location downtown. She is ready to serve Washington and the surrounding community. Today, temperatures reached all the way back up to 80 and there were sunny skies. Tomorrow we can expect about the same, clear skies and a high of 81. Sunday, temperatures will start their descent with a high of 79 along with strong winds. We will start our work week with a 40% chance of rain and a high of 71 on Monday. On Tuesday, temperatures will be back down to 58 and it will be partly cloudy. That was the weather. It is now time for sports.
Sports, brought to you by Fairway.
On state qualifier day, you need to be at your best, and that's exactly where the Washington cross country team was on Wednesday night. With all the pressure on, the Demon girls performed admirably. With 3 team bids up for grabs, the Demons finished second place. Not only did Washington get one of the only 3 bids, they did it by a whopping 70 points. Washington scored 60 on the day, 19 better than third place Center Point Urbana. Horak was one of the 3 Demons to finish in the top 11. Iris Dahl finished 6th in 19 minutes, 58.934 seconds. Quincy Griffiths finished 10th in 20 minutes, 11.82 seconds. And Horak was right behind Griffiths with an 11th place, 20 minutes, 18 seconds, 0.453 seconds, Even more impressive may have been how the youngest team in the field was able to rise to the occasion. Washington's entire lineup was made up of underclassmen, including Dahl, a freshman. Olivia Anderson finished 16th for the Demons, Kendall Hendrickson was 17th, Angeline Anderson crossed in 19th, and Isabella Lujan took 27th. The Demons were the only area big school runners to make the state meet on the girls' side. Mount Pleasant's Bella Meter was 25th. The Demon boys had high hopes of making state as a team, but it wasn't in the cards for a squad that found itself battling a tough district. The Demons finished 5th as a team, scoring 117, which was 8 points off third place Fort Madison, who stole a team bid just 6 days after the Demons beat the Bloodhounds by 3 points at the SEC meet. Washington was able to send 2 runners through individually. Junior Michael Reese was one of the just 2 runners to cross in under 16 minutes, putting up a second place time of 15 minutes, 59.723 seconds. Sophomore Tyler Alderton finished 13th in 17 minutes and 8.103 seconds. Alderton will be making his first trip to Fort Dodge. He says he didn't know exactly where he was down the home stretch, but just pushed as hard as he could when it mattered most. Mount Pleasant will have a representative in Fort Dodge next week. After a couple years of narrowly missing the field, Ben Carthy ran a solid race, taking 7th place with a final time of 16 minutes and 40.50 seconds. Carthy stayed with the leaders through the first mile and then found his groove to stick in the top 10. Mount Pleasant freshman Jude Dykstra nearly sneaked into the field himself, but had to stick with 20th. Washington's Lane Schrock took 24th, and the state meet will take place on the morning Saturday, October 29th. We had the state qualifiers from Washington on the Washington Demon Coaches Show yesterday. I highly recommend you go back and watch it. It was great having all of those kids in the studio. That's the news for Southeast Iowa. I've been your host, Nick Steffens. This is the Southeast Iowa Union News Break, and I will see you next time.